G'day scrappers, welcome to part 6 of this scrap marathon, and well, certainly made a bit of progress in the last couple of days, that's for sure. And as you can see, the bench area is super clean. Underneath, I've swept it all out, I hosed it all out, so it feels really fresh, really good, no dust. Cleaned me rug, got rid of all the boxes and containers and buckets with all mixed stuff. There was a lot of stuff that needed to be processed. That's all done. So everything's sort of set up now, ready to go. I got my scrapping station back and looking good actually. Even I've been meaning to make a bit of room for the tripod because I want it over this side, because putting it over this side, it just makes it awkward to scrap stuff out. So now I can scrap stuff in front of the tripod. Been meaning to do that for a long time. Even have my little radio sort of just sitting there out of the way. Yeah, so it's all good. Yeah, rejigged a few things. I've put my insulator cable here. And now I can easily just wheel it out when it's full. That's just for dirty steel. But I was finding over here was where my cable was. And as I was scrapping, I'd always have to turn around and, throw little bits. So now it's just I can sit here and just throw straight into the bin. Awesome. And just my gold plugs bucket, it's almost full anyway, and a couple more buckets just for one for copper and one for something I don't know what yet, probably things like RAM and stuff before I take it in. So that's one big thing done, is this area is all cleaned out of the junk. The amount of dust and stuff that built up, it was unbelievable. So we're on a good little thing now. And I've got to start getting rid of all this e-waste to my buyer. But surprisingly, I did a pickup, my first pickup in 3 weeks. So that's incredible. Yeah, so it's been, 6 years since I've had a break of 3 weeks between pickups, so... yeah, no, really, nothing really spectacular. Got a bunch of PCs. I did get these big monitors, big screen television kind of things. They're mostly for display monitors. He did say they're working, but or most of them are working, but I can't really do anything. So I'm going to scrap them out straight away. A couple of laptops right at the end. A lot of a lot of remote controls. This place gets a lot of remote controls. Don't really know what these are. It's sort of audio. How's that? Microphones. Sure. Even got a little LCD screen here. So it's been taped up. This one looks like it's new, so I might keep them. Yeah, it's a little diversity receiver. Huh. And these are IEM. Don't know what they are. Just some kind of audio thing. Oh, wow. These are actually good. Sennheiser, made in Germany. Good microphones. Might have to, I'll keep all these. Wow. Check them all out. They're all Sennheiser. Wow. So there's no reason why all of these wouldn't work, surely. So I might just keep them and do something with them. They've got a bit of value there. Yeah. sort of like, almost like a CB kind of thing. Shaw Brothers, made in USA. UC4 UA. Yeah, it looks like some kind of communications walkie-talkie system. There's another one. They all come with a microphone. That's bizarre. Got some really interesting amps and stuff. This one here is really heavy, as a lot of these are. Yamaha P2500 power amp. I mean, it's super heavy. It's going to have an awesome transformer in there, but I'm pretty sure these actually all work, because these were in a big display thing, so they weren't sort of being used. I was there when they were pulling them out. They say, "Oh, do you want all this stuff?" I say, yeah, I'll take it. And how's that? Rain. It's just like a graphic equalizer. Right, so wow. So I've got to slowly pull out all this stuff. See what's there. Yeah, I've got another big controller box there that was part of the amp and part of the equalizer. It was just one whole sort of system set up in a box. Yeah, a lot of monitors. They're just going to go scrap. I'm going to scrap out these TVs, display systems. They're really chunky, really heavy. Unbelievable how heavy they are. But at least I did get a bunch of PCs, and I've actually got to go back there in a tomorrow, I think. Yeah, because they forgot a few more TVs. They're big 80-inch screens, and he had a whole bunch of other little stuff that he needed to get rid of. So I'll go and pick that up, and straight after that, I'm going straight to a school to do. It's just a little school, little pickup. It's not going to be a great deal, but that's two pickups in one day. So yeah, so I'll start making pulling everything out of that van, and then get on with things. So yeah, this part still doesn't look like it's changed, but it has. A lot of these buckets and tubs are all empty that were scattered behind the table here. So that's just fantastic. That's a huge progress for me. It just feels fresher, so that's all good. And yeah, everything looking good here. Still got those. I'm going to have to do all these switches, get them out the way, bring in more stuff to depopulate here. So, but we're getting there. It's all going good, guys. So let's get on with this marathon. I'm just going to empty the van, and might start scrapping out some of those big TV displays, get them out the way. Okay, well, I've just come back from another pickup, and I've still got 2 more pickups to go. So this one was from a recycler friend. He's actually one of my buyers. He buys my laptops and CPUs and stuff. So I sold him a bunch of stuff and picked up a bunch of other stuff. So I've got another one of these big chargers. This one's a vehicle charger. So an old Westinghouse Australian version. Yeah, so it's yeah, something else to scrap out. It's quite heavy, obviously, so it's going to have big transformers in there again. A lot of what I picked up, aside from some old school PCs, which is always good. I'm always looking for, you know, I tell him anything beige, you know, I like. That's probably why I got this thing. A lot of laptops, and so just laptops that have been partially scrapped out for parts. So they'll take either, you know, if they need keyboards, obviously they take all the RAM and hard drives and things like that. Some they even go for the whole CPU. So this was i5. So this one's even empty. So this one's just basically rubbish. But yeah, quite a lot of, actually a real lot of laptops in here, and as well as laptops, there's a whole heap of laptop boards in here, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so, well, there you go, an old pavilion. So they've just, yeah, mostly they even take the battery, they use the batteries, hard drives, the RAM, and some cases, if it's a removable CPU, they'll even take the CPU, but that's all right. All right, so 2 orange tubs full. So it's yeah, quite a lot of stuff for me to, and this was my little tray where I had CPUs and RAM. So at least that's empty. And I always, even if I take a little bit, I always end up selling a lot more than you know, what I buy off him. So I try and pay a little bit for these sort of things. Obviously I buy complete laptops as scrap, but you know, these are you know, if they're sort of complete, I can pay what I pay laptop price a little bit, but these are sort of like downgraded because they've had all the things taken out, but should still get some value out of them and be able to pay something for it. I did score, how's that, an old NEC telephone, really old vintage one, still got the antenna intact, so cool. Just something, you know, nice and vintage. Just keep them for, you know, just for a bit of fun. Really heavy little thing, I tell you. All right, well, so that's me for the rest of the day. As I take out the tubs, I've got to sort out all the cables, separate the cables. Most of this cable is just low grade, and yeah, I'll probably scrap out this big vehicle charger and a few PCs and see what else is in there. But as I said, it's mostly boards. I actually took in 4 tubs of circuit boards today. Well, circuit boards, motherboards, mid-grade, power boards, and power supply units and stuff, and plastic. So I got rid of a lot of stuff. I got an extra bin, so hopefully I can get it open. But yeah, so I got a fresh bin. I put my tubs back in. These 2 tubs got empty out, so I'm all happening. And here's a huge NEC. It's actually a monitor, believe it or not. It's the Multisync V651 in NEC. Yeah, and that's the biggest monitor I've ever gotten. So you can use it just kind of like a PC monitor in a way. Well, you can, yeah. And it's actually in nice condition. It's just a little bit older. There's superseded models now, and I tried to pass it on to my buyer, but he's already got a few himself. He said he doesn't need it. They're just too big, and it's pretty old. But yeah, and just been going through the stuff that I showed you previously from the other pickup. And yeah, I've just got to empty out the van now, and well, I can't really scrap anything out until I sort everything out of this van, and because I've got to do this quickly because I've got to go and do those other 2 pickups, and I don't think they're going to be spectacular, but still, one of them is a school, so hopefully I'll get a few bits and pieces I can make something out of. Just gonna have to get this out. Wow, that's one heavy bugger. So I'm kind of, I don't know how I'm gonna, yeah, I might just start pulling apart all this cabinet, and just to make it a little bit lighter and easier to get into. So I've certainly got some work cut out for me. All right, well, power supplies, empty cases, a few PCs, cable galore. But really happy with the amount of circuit boards that I got. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a mess. And I just got rid of power supply units, and now I've got a whole bunch of them to start again. All right, I better get to it, and I'll give you a little look once I've sort of gotten in there. Well, I've got the tubs out at least. So here's all my laptops. There's stacks of them. They're all like that. So I'm probably just going to have to scrap them out because I can't sell them like that. They're just too damaged. But some of them are like that. It's a good big board for a laptop. The only thing is there's a lot of rubbish left over, you know, so and there's circuit boards somewhere, and I've just got to work out, like, some of them don't have anything, like this one here. It's empty, so it's just rubbish. So I've got to sort them out to work out which ones I can actually pay for and which ones just straight in the rubbish. But oh well, that's what you get sometimes in this business. You got to take the good with the bad, as I keep saying. But it looks like these are all laptop motherboards, and it looks like most of the bin. So that's going to be good. Only thing I need to do here is just take out the batteries. So that's what I'm gonna do before I weigh them up. So I'd be able to pay decent money for a lot of these. This one here is actually, because it's got this steel socket, a lot of steel. Technically it's not, even though it's a laptop battery, laptop motherboard, it's pretty low grade. Like, that's better because it, you know, the I series, at least it does, this one doesn't have the steel bracket. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, these ones I might just have to put as PC motherboards, because you know, it's important for my buyer as well to get good value. Like, he's not going to get value out of that as a laptop motherboard, even though it is. A few slot cards, but I've got to clean them up. But a lot there. Wow. I can't really do anything with all that stuff right now because I've got to just tidy up some of the rubbish. There was an Xbox 360, but it's a very damaged one, so I'll probably just scrap this out. Just mostly rubbish in there. Most of them are the PCs. So, well, this scrap marathon's never ending, is it? Oh, gosh, I've got to scrap this out before my next dirty pressing steel run. I should be able to get rid of most of it and just keep some of the sheets of steel as clean. And yeah, but yeah, a bit of a strange start to this scrap marathon, and I'm just going to have to leave this until I go and do the pickup, the other two pickups, and I'm going to have to sort of process them slowly by hand. All right, well, leave it with me, and I'm just going to clean up and get ready for the next two pickups. So from virtually nothing in 3 weeks, no pickups, to what, 1, 2, 4 pickups, and I done 2 drop-offs early this morning to my board buyer. So I haven't had a chance. I've been on the road most of the day. All right, guys. Well, I'm back from the last 2 pickups. A couple more giant, really heavy display monitor things. So they're going to be the first things I need to scrap out. It was just finishing off from one of the other pickups that I did earlier, and then just a little school, yeah, about a dozen PCs, some monitors, bits and pieces. Wasn't too bad. Looks like I got an Xbox 360. This one's a good one. A smaller one. I'll keep that. Gosh, car stereos. I'll have to go through that. Yeah, and some more sort of music stuff. I got quite a good sort of unit, but I did manage to sell some of that music stuff when I went to my buyer. He took the box of Sennheiser microphones and the big Yamaha amp, so I made a bit out of that. A lot better than just having it hang around. Check out that massive Sony boombox. Gosh, it's just well, that's obviously broken, but way too big for me. That's just going to go as scrap steel. Monitors as usual. Got quite a lot of monitors actually at the moment. They're all going as just getting rid of them as scrap. So I've got my work cut out for me, and you wouldn't believe it. Well before this video is over, I think, or maybe just after, I've got a massive pickup again from my laptop buyer. He's got a whole heap, he reckons probably a whole van full of servers and more switches. So I'm going to be bringing in a stack of things in a couple of days. So I need to get myself busy. So this video is going to take a little bit longer than expected, because yeah, I've already spent 2 days in just doing pickups and drop-offs. So yeah, I've got to get onto these big PCs. I've got to check this out. It was only 2 days ago that this whole area was clear, and it's full again. So I've got to clear off all that today, clear off some of these big screen TVs, and just start making. I've got to stack up these PCs to start making room for the PCs that are going to come in a couple of days, or sorry, the servers and switches, as well as a dozen PCs here, and as usual a lot of cable and stuff. So that's just a little upgrade to my scrap marathon progress for this video. Geez, doesn't, you know, I'm, you know, going backwards again, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but hey, I'm not going to complain about what I processed in the last couple of weeks anyway. So all these have got to go today, and as much as this is possible, just so I can start loading up from the next pickup. So all right guys, well, leave it with me. Okay, let's make finally a start in scrapping something. Unbelievable. When it rains, it pours, you know. Just adjust the mic. Yeah. So I'm kind of back to square one in many ways. But you can't complain getting work and stuff, you know. Bring it on, I say. So just got a whole lot of these flat panel display, and these are the little Sonys. So I thought I'd get rid of these just to start me off. And then one gigabyte SanDisk. Okay. Well, because it's a plastic back, you've got to put it back on. Get rid of it like that, just to save me having big pieces of plastic to, you know, I just got rid of a full tub of plastic, so at least that can go into clean steel. Yeah, got rid of a whole heap of plastic, so I'm really happy to get a fresh empty tub back, and 1.5 tubs of power supply units. Unbelievable. And a tub of motherboards and a tub of mid-grade boards. So, and 4 crates of hard drives. So quite a lot out the door, and then a whole heap back in the door. But yeah, these pickups were kind of average stuff. And what, in the last 2 days, about 30 PCs, probably 25. But in a couple of days, servers and switches, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how much of that stuff I get. Well, there's a lot of screws on this TV or monitor, whatever. Gosh. Oh, some more clean steel. Wow. Well, that's more like it. That's what we want out of a flat screen. Well, it's kind of it's more of a monitor, I think, than a PC. Than a TV. But yeah, this is what we want. Okay, so we've got our main board here, which is really good. It's got a gold corner VGA, some flat packs all over it. Got your power board, another one there, and probably something like the T-Con. Not really. A lot different than LCD monitor. Well, it still is an LCD monitor, but yeah, that giant one the NEC that I got. Wow, it's an 80-inch monitor. So you can imagine having that connected to your PC. Be unbelievable. Wow, just screws everywhere here. Okay. Just start with the easy stuff. Didn't see the little clip. I'm a bit out of scrapping touch. Oh, got a power board. Got a nice copper coil here. And these two as well to take before sending it off to low grade boards. I'll just get this off. Little mid. Wow. So yeah, I'm anticipating a huge load coming in a couple of days, so I don't know where I'm going to start with them, because I've already got probably 50 switches still left over that need to be scrapped out. So I don't know how many switches I'm getting, but I know that the load is going to be a full van, so that could be anything, you know. But at least I've got a couple of days to scrap real good and just get my levels down, as well as getting myself prepared and organized, so I've got room to throw all the stuff down somewhere. Okay. It's a good little logic board. Quite a few chips there, some BGAs. It looks like the T-con board's under there. So quite a decent haul here. At least we're getting some good value out of these ones rather than LCD TVs. We're getting virtually, you know, very little. Looks like there's a good little board in there as well. Wow, that's quite an impressive board. It's a 2-tier. There's a little gold band crystal oscillator. Another gold band there. BGAs. It's got, they're quite higher grade boards. And this one here, this is the main board. You've got a gold corner BGA there. Not bad. Have to take it off this. There we go. Oh, clean steel. Another good board. Little one. Alright, well. I don't want anything on this side. I do want this power board here. And T-con board maybe. One of the houses behind me is getting demolished at the moment, so you might not be able to hear it. It's actually very quiet considering the whole house is being knocked down. They don't make much noise these days. The machinery is really quiet. It's almost like it's running on electric, and yeah, they're getting the job done. So quite a bit of clean steel out of this before we send the rest as dirty steel. You know, I'm lucky that the scrapyard that I take dirty steel to, even though I get a little bit less than where I otherwise would, I'm allowed to throw some TVs, some monitors, some printers. So that's where I prefer to send dirty. Just a power board, transformer board, goes to low grade. Okay, well, I might as well get this plate off as well, because this is going to be clean steel. And there might be something underneath here as well. Yeah. Good. Almost doubled my value just there. More wire. Yeah. So one more piece. Alright, so that's as far as I want to take this. There's no point in opening up any further and making a mess just to get maybe the finger strip board. Yeah. So see if I can screw this back on. Yep. Okay, well, this one's scrapped, off to the scrapyard. Awesome. Happy with that. So, I've got another one. This is exactly the same. The only thing that you didn't see in the last one was this rotating stand. So, this is kind of what makes even these little ones really, really heavy. Just incredible weight. Even though this is clean steel, this part here is really heavy cast aluminium. So just got to find a big Allen key to get this off and apart. There you go, heaps of steel here, and yeah, as I said, this part cast aluminium. Oh. Right, that weighs about 25 pounds in the old scale. Some good washers, these really heavy duty thick washers. These are good to use as when you need to make some spaces and stuff, so I'll keep these ones. Why not? Can always throw it out as scrap steel another day. Okay, so I'll just continue on here, but I'll show you what came out of this. Power board, T-con board. Awesome. The main board with the big BGA. Another kind of video kind of board. Bit of a power board. Cards, yeah, nice little board there. And this one here, awesome board. Couple more kind of power boards, and a big power board with a few copper coils that I'll take off before I send the rest as a power board, and a whole bunch of wire. So that's pretty darn good for one of these TVs, for monitors. Can't complain with that. And mind you, still we're left with a lot of weight that I can sell as dirty steel, and we also got a lot of clean steel out of it, so can't go wrong with that. Okay, so what I'll do, I'm just going to finish off this one because I've just done one before, so no point in doing two in a row on video. And when I'm done with this, I'll go and get a bigger one. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so this is also a Sony. This is a slightly bigger one, so I thought a little bit different because it's got a steel back, and so that's a little bonus. Get a bit of extra dirty clean steel, so every little bonus we can get, the better. All right, wow. Now this is these monitors are awesome. I mean, look at that. This is what it's all about. You know, I love this stuff when it's like this. The new LCD monitors televisions, they're a waste of time. Obviously, if I pick them up, you know, I can't really help it, but even if I do pick them up, I usually don't even bother opening them up to scrap them out. But geez, in this case, you know, I wasn't overly excited when I picked them up, but hey, at least I'm getting good value here. Okay, just got to undo. And the amount of screws, even that, there's got to be $1 worth of screws. Okay, what are you doing? Come to the party? Where's my... Check out that. Virtually the whole floor space here is all circuit boards. Pretty darn good. And these are just the sort of smaller ones. I'm interested to see what's in that big NEC. I won't be able to scrap it on this table because it's just too heavy to pick up here and too big. So I'll scrap it where I scrap those last giant TVs out in the side there, where on top of my board tubs. All right. Well, there's a pretty good board here. Still got to take it out, but also got some more clean pressing steel. But it's still it's just a mid-grade board. Out of a lot of these things, very rarely you'll find something that you can say it's high grade, but because it's just a mid-grade board, it's got a BGA here. You can pinch that and maybe one of these flat packs as well, so still get some value there. Oh, and there's actually a really good board underneath here as well. That's amazing. And a lot of cable on top of that. It's a really good value scrap out. And because these are so heavy, I like to, you know, reduce as much weight as I can so I don't have to carry so much weight into the van, you know. And I'm certainly doing that. Like, everything we remove is just a little bit less that I have to pick up and carry. So this one here is just a power board. It's a good heavy power board, but there's really not a lot I can actually take here apart from this removable IC chip. There's, you know, I could take these copper coils, right, just to give me a little bit of transformer weight, get a little bit more value out of that rather than selling it on the low grade board. So a little bit extra for the transformer bucket. Or, you know, like these are pretty hard. You don't get much of the copper out of it because they're sort of glued in and stuff. Sometimes they can be okay to just unwind the copper if you want. It just depends. And I could probably Yeah. See, in this case, if I try and take one of these transformers out, I'm going to break it up and lose a lot of weight anyway, so it's not going to be much difference. But I probably could take one of these really big transformers. I'll see if I can get the biggest one. Okay, so at least there I've got a transformer. You know, it's like double the price than sitting on the board, you know. Always got to, you know, look at little things like that to get that little bit extra value. Well, the house demolition is starting to get a bit noisier. They must be getting into the business end. All right, there's some nice clean steel. And here are, these brackets are obviously cast aluminium. They're probably a mixture of zinc aluminium, but same thing. Still goes in the same area. So once we take these off, we're not going to be able to get the cover on anyway. But we don't need to do that, because that's going as steel. Watch yourself. They're mounted up. Okay. There we go. Nice, clean cast aluminium. Bit extra value there. Beautiful. All right. There's this really nice high-grade board here. Look at it. 3 massive BGA chips here. Gold corners. Very awesome. And quite a fair amount of cable as well. Wow, a lot of screws again. Jeez. They're sticking to... There's all sorts of work going on around here today. The house demolition at the back. At the front, they're cutting down some of the dead branches in the park. It's just machinery going on everywhere. But how's that? 3 very awesome BGAs. And you know what? Even if you took these 3 off, because it's got ICs all around it, it's still going to go as a mid-grade board. And it's not really going to go as much higher than a mid-grade board anyway. Even though technically it is, there's no real grade for this in Australia. I mean, obviously when I say mid-grade board, that's Australian mid-grade board. In America, this would be called a peripheral board, not mid-grade. Mid-grade is a lot lower than what we call mid-grade in Australia. So this is a peripheral board, or a mid-grade board in Australia, but you know, at least taking off these 2 big ones, still got a good board. And we also got a gold band crystal oscillator there. That's a bonus too. So beautiful, really good value here. The only thing that would beat this in value would be a plasma TV. Also there we've got a crystal, we've got a removable IC chip, so it's all good. Okay, so now and we've taken off a lot of good weight, so it's just going to be a lot easier to handle. It looks like these boards here are going to have gold fingers. Just gets better and better. But there's our power board. We do have a lot of aluminium extruded heat sinks, so depending on how easy they are to take off, it might be worth taking off the extruded aluminium, at least these couple of long ones, because it's basically just a power board, low grade board, probably a mid-grade board in America. Gold fingers, a little bonus. They're not the most spectacular gold fingers, but they're still gold fingers, and it's still a mid-grade board because it's got all these just little flat packs on there. So it's still a good value board. And so even if we take off these fingers, it's still going to be a mid-grade board. If you leave these fingers on, it's still going to be a mid-grade board, because this is not like a PCI slot card kind of thing, or a gold finger card. Not really. Maybe in some countries, but not here. But that's good too. And you got all these ribbons. Not sure if the camera's the brown ribbon wire here. We've got little gold. It's just a gold flashed plating, or gold flashing. But because I don't do that many LCDs anymore and stuff, and never really did, I haven't really got much of a collection, so I don't really worry about these too much. But some people like to go for them. So you see the gold plating there. It's very low grade gold plating, or flashing, you know, but it is what it is. And obviously, you know, for the new guys, this yellow, there's no gold in this actual ribbon. It's just aluminium, maybe copper, but just the ends where it connects. Okay, so I just got a bunch there. Do what with them as you like. Okay, so, and then we also got, not only do we have these little boards here, they're just mid-grade, but also these modules here. We'll have a look at that. Okay, so it's part of the mid-grade board, but these should pop out. No? Okay. So as you can see there, underneath those black blobs, there's actually little BGA chips in there, you know, little IC chips. They're not actually BGAs, they're flat pack kind of things. But the reason why the black mask is over them is because it's sealing up the bonding wires, because the bonding wires are exposed. This is very difficult to for the average backyard refiner to recycle, to recover the gold from these, especially these ones. They're on aluminium. You could try picking them off. I prefer to just give these to my board buyer and let them use. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that's just a black resin coating. Okay, and look at that underneath. Can you see that gold? And that's why they put the coating on. It's to cover that gold plate, and not sure, they do vary. Sometimes they're almost impossible to get off, but if we can, yeah, well, no, we might be able to pry them off, but it's actually very good plating, that bit of gold. So I might just hold on to them and see if I can use a Stanley knife or something, a razor blade, and sort of peel them plates off, because it's actually very good gold. So we'll go for them. Like I said, sometimes it's almost impossible to get them off, but this one just turned out easy. Okay, so just a basic mid-grade board. And if we can, well, this one sort of left a bit on this ribbon. So as you can see, you know, in this state like this, just on the ribbon, that's easy to recover. So I'll deal with them another day. I just put them in really oddball gold recovery stuff. Even the other side had a little bit of gold. So there's 16 of them all up. Pretty all right. These ones over this side, these ones here should be solid, like fully plated. Yep. So there. So you can see it's quite solid gold there, but it's very shiny. So it's still like flashing. It's not really gold plating. It'll still be good, but nothing like gold fingers or something like that, you know. Yeah. Just another power board. I like to take these copper coils and just peel off the rubber coating. Get just good copper, because there's no ferrite bead or anything like that. It's just copper weight and a bit of rubber, so you're getting much better value just taking them off. So nice copper coil, bit of dirty rubber. I'll do the same with that one. Okay. So this is just basically another low-grade board. There's really nothing on it. So, well, aside from the aluminium, you can take off if you want. All right. Well, we're just about done here. So all I got here is I've got these cast aluminium risers, and well, better than sending it off as dirty steel. Even the screws are clean steel. Just a little bit of extra. This would be a mixture of aluminium, cast aluminium, and zinc, something like that. But it's still, I just throw it into cast aluminium. Never had a problem with it. There we go. Alright, well, we're just about done. Couple more here. Pretty much now just dirty steel. If you want, put a little bit of time. All these risers, they're just steel. I know. See, these risers are probably stainless steel. So if you want, you can put these, you know, they knock off really easy. Just tall ones. Put them in your stainless steel. They're quite heavy, I'll have to have a closer look, make sure that they're not brass. I doubt it. I mean, if you wanted to go even further, you could take off all the little ones as well. Well, look at that, you know. Either way, stainless steel. I just got to bring it in the sun in white. Yeah, it looks like they're stainless steel. If you've got a grinder, one way to test is to just put it under the grinder, grind it off, and if there's a little bit of sparks, then it's stainless steel. If no sparks, in this case it would be brass, but I'm pretty certain these are stainless. Alright, so the rest, this will just go as dirty pressing steel now, and so we'll still get some value, but it's a lot lighter than when it started off. And mind you, this also had one big rack on it as well, so I've taken off a lot of good weight, clean steel weight, and scrapyard can have the rest, and I'll still get good value out of it too. Alright, might go on to a real big one now. Okay, so this is the giant NEC monitor. Now, just to put it in perspective, this is an 80-inch monitor. So you can see all the little connectors here and stuff. I'm pretty sure you can actually connect this to a PC. And wow, what an amazing gaming monitor this would be. And it's the NEC Multisync V651 LCD monitor, L650U9. And believe it or not, for those that are going to cringe, it actually works. But the problem is it's an older version, and it's a little bit low resolution, and I'm not going to deal with it. And like I said, I tried to actually pass this on to my buyer straight away. Before I even took it out the van, I sent him a message saying, "You interested in this?" He goes, "Nah mate, I've got 3 or 4 of them sitting here. No one wants them, can't do anything with them." So here's a big chunk of steel right from the top. And yep, well, there you go. Not much to it at all, hey, considering the size. But you know, technology these days, I suppose, doesn't really need size or boards compared to what they used to be like. But my objective here is to reduce the weight of this so I can carry it and take it to the scrapyard and try and get a little bit of clean steel out of it. And so I'll just try my best. So what are these? Okay, so these are cast aluminium. So we've got a little bit extra value there straight off the bat. Can't complain. So even though taking these handles off means that it's just going to be a little bit more difficult to handle, to move around, but there you go, a pound of cast aluminium. I've got my Scotch and Coke. Thought I'd have a couple of drinks while I'm chilling out. It's a beautiful afternoon, and so I thought, what the heck. So I'm going to see if I can take off these side panels and see what's underneath. Now, the important thing for me is not to loosen it off too much where the whole screen wants to pop out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be very successful, but okay. So the more weight I can take off, obviously the better, and because I'm turning what I take off into clean steel. Okay, well that's beautiful. That's a nice piece of clean pressing steel for the scrapyard. And underneath here, well, we've got a couple of just a low grade kind of boards, but a bonus, even though we've got some plastic here. I can send that to recycling and make it a little bit better for the scrapyard that accepts this as dirty pressing steel. Just a little bit less plastic for them. Not that, you know, every scrapyard is different. It depends on where they get rid of their scrap. I know that this scrapyard sells it to a metal recycler, and they just take it. They're all about weight. They're not really particularly fussed about how good a quality it is when it comes to dirty pressing steel, because they're selling it as dirty pressing steel, and they're just interested in the weight, really. You know, it's only when it comes to clean pressing steel where it gets a bit more, where they've got to be a bit more careful. But here we go. So beautiful. Okay, these are just low grade boards. Sorry. Yep, no problem. Happy to get rid of them as low grade boards. Nothing there. It's just basically copper transformers, a few capacitors. That's all really. Couple of ICs up the top here, but I'm not really going to worry. So I've got my low grade just happens to be there. So throw it straight in, out the way. 2 boards, done. Bonus. And it looks like there's some wire running underneath this panel. So, and it looks like I'm going to be able to get this steel section off as well for more clean steel. And if those of you haven't caught up on the prices, currently I'm getting 13 cents a kilo for dirty steel like this TV, and 23 cents a kilo for clean steel and screws, stuff like that. So it's 10 cent more a kilo, about 85% more selling it as clean steel. So it kind of at the moment for me, it's worth me putting in a little bit extra work and getting clean steel. And also, don't forget, I've already undone about 150, 200 screws today in the last hour, and they add up as well, and that goes as clean steel because that's what it is. Screws are clean, and so I fill these up into little cavities of clean steel anytime I got boxes. Okay. Alright, there's our third good slice of steel. One chicken's just coming in from outside for half an hour or so every day. Towards the end of the day, I like to let my chickens out in the front garden. They just scratch around, have a little hunt for worms, and at the moment, because we're in lockdown, a lot of people are walking by, and there's the second one. And when they're walking with kids and that, the kids get a bit of a kick out of seeing chickens. You know, I mean, obviously we live in the city, and most of the kids in the city have never seen a chicken in real life, so they get a real kick out of it. And so that's why I let them out for half an hour or an hour, and at the end of the day, so yeah, so the local kids can, you know, have a little look and you know, be amazed. You know, they're amazed. You know, oh look, chickens. You know, you know, it's they don't get to see them in real life, and so it's just a little bit of, you know, a bonus for the community. Yeah, even older people. Sometimes I hear people talking at the front, and they're going on, oh, look, I've never seen chickens at the front of a house before, you know. It's a bit of a novelty for them, and, well, in this day and age, at the moment, people kind of need to be cheered up a little bit, so I'm doing my part anyway. Chickens are really cool pets, you know. I mean, you walk past with a dog, no one looks twice, you know, but chickens, they're cool. Okay, so after this big TV, I think I'm going to just scrap out a little bunch of PCs that are already kind of half scrapped, just in my own time, and just to get some volume down. And the next couple of days, it's just going to be full on processing and making way for that big pickup that I'm going to do. And I was thinking I might even bring the camera to the big pickup and give you a little look at my friend's setup. We'll see how we go. So that's a nice, it's just a low grade board. I don't think these transformers will come off real easy, but these copper coils, I might just yeah, they'll come off. Pinch these copper coils, triple the value. Yeah, I'll do that off camera. Okay, so some more steel. So scrapping these big TVs out was vital for my progress here, because otherwise it would just seem like I've gotten nowhere if I've got these giant things. And when I go and do the next scrap steel run, these are the first thing I want to make sure that are on board and are out the door. Okay. So, I'm just going to cut a bit loosely here. Alright, so this board, not a bad, it's just a mid-grade board. There's not a whole lot on it. There'll be a good BGA here, a couple of little BGAs, not a whole lot. Good value as a mid-grade board though, because it's going to have all these ports along there, just adding some good weight. So that's all good. So I just want to cut reasonably loosely. Okay, so I just got to clean this, undo these little screws off these ports to remove this piece of steel, and that'll be another clean pressing steel out the way. That's good. So we're getting lighter, and I think, yep, now we can remove this main plate here and get some really good scrap steel weight as clean steel. might not take too much. All right, now we're in business. Got some nice wire there. I'll just clean off the wire, take off some of these plastic risers and take out these fans, and this as well will be a nice piece of clean steel. Beautiful. Now, plastic. So we've done pretty good here. Bit of wire. Okay. You know what? There's really, apart from that back piece of steel, let me just get that. Oh, and there's also a back T-con board there. Beautiful. More weight off. Almost double value. Okay, so we're done here, guys. No point in getting any lower. Bit of ribbon wire here. Should run all the way along. That's low grade. Might as well throw it straight into my low grade bin. Video cable that I can't be bothered taking the plugs off, but they're also got little ferrite beads here. Get a bit extra weight. Some of these even come in plastic. I can't be bothered. Mix it in. Cat 5 ribbon wire, short cables with a lot of plugs. Just low grade. I just need my other screwdriver. Wow, I've just finished off one glass of Scotch and Coke, like a big glass, like quite a bit of Scotch, probably a quadruple Scotch and Coke. But that sort of got me wobbly already. Doesn't take much, especially with me on an empty stomach, because I never have breakfast, except Sunday. I enjoy breakfast on Sunday. It's my breakfast day. I have a little, as often as I can, I try and have a little breakfast banquet. Bacon, eggs, toast, even sometimes sausage, and there's the T-con board. It's just a mid-grade board, really nothing to it. Tiny little gold band crystal oscillator. I'll still take it. Some LCCs around, but other than that, have very low value T-con board, considering the size of this monitor and how expensive it kind of was. So this one here doesn't even have it. Oh, it does. Well, these gold fingers are so lightly plated, it's not even worth talking about. So I just throw that in low grade board. Low grade wire. All right. Well, there we go. This was the one TV or monitor that I was sort of cringing at, and I'm so glad that I have scrapped this bugger out. Okay, so that's one thing I didn't want happen. It's what I mean when you start undoing a lot of screws, sometimes you get a little bit more than you bargain for. So luckily that's just plastic. It's not too bad. Reasonably nice clean pieces. I'll send them off to recycling. Sure, it does remove a bit of weight, but it's even better for the scrapyard or for the company that buys from the scrapyard. They get a little bit less plastic. But if I removed any more trying to say clean up a little bit, say an extra bracket of this steel, the whole thing would start to come apart, and that's what I don't want. I don't want the screen to start peeling away, because then yeah, it's not very nice. So there we go, 2 TVs, the Sonys that we scrapped out. Now I've got the monster out the way. Now these ones that just came in before, Mitsubishi. So this was part of the second pickup of the same place. Big Mitsubishi there, heavy, and then this massive, what is it? It's also a Mitsubishi, and it's only got small brackets on there, and it looks like, okay, so it's got some plastic, but this part's steel. Yep, these are cast aluminium, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm going to do these probably just before I go to start loading up stuff in the scrapyard. So this is my dirty pressing steel, so yeah, I'll do them. Even part of the school pickup, for some reason there was a lot of these cast stereos. I don't want to deal with them, I can't be bothered with them. And this is my clean steel. That's the back of the TV I just done before, and yeah, some of the TV bits. But the next one will be dirty steel, because obviously I want to get rid of these big TVs, and also picked up a bunch of monitors, and they'll go in as well. And I've still got to get through all this sort of stuff. This came in yesterday as well from my PC buyer, a laptop buyer. So this is a whole lot of laptops that need to be scrapped out. Showed you that as well as there, but there's all the laptop boards. There's even some slot cards in here, need to clean up. A lot of laptop boards, so that's going to be awesome, but I can't do anything there until I go and do that big pickup from him once again. So this tub, normally this will, once it's empty, this will be my power supply tub, and this one will be my plastic tub. So obviously I need to empty them out so I can start refilling them with plastic. And lovely. So this has only been recent, my clean pressing steel. I never used to bother with it, you know, but now I do. And so even PCs that I scrap out, I keep the outside covers, and if I don't want to take off the front plastic part of the PC, I'll just throw that part into dirty pressing. And yeah, so because of this yard, it's just around a corner, it's so convenient for me, and I've got to go there with like a bin of wire every so often. It's just it makes a big difference, I tell you. That 10 cents a kilo extra, yeah, it certainly just makes a real big difference. So the chickens are in, so I can lock up there, and it's just what a contrast from a couple of days ago. It was so cold I couldn't even get my hands moving, right? And to today, look at that afternoon, that's the sun starting to go down. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just an absolutely beautiful beautiful afternoon. Nice, cool, but not cold. Okay, so let's scrap this vehicle charger out here. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a problem. Well, our first piece of scrap steel. Holy dooly. It's got a massive transformer, as kind of as expected. Just not sure how I'm going to go about doing this. Maybe if I can try and get some weight off it. There's another transformer under that. Looks interesting. So I'll just get this. Whoop. Okay. These chargers must be pretty expensive. It's getting a bit windy out here, so the wind blowing around the microphone. But yeah, they must be pretty expensive just by the size of them, and all the you know, motors, copper, and some nice bit of copper there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we've got the giant transformer, got a smaller one there, and then a tiny one there. Yeah, not a lot to it. Just hopefully I can, I might have to put it on its side. It's very awkward because it's just so heavy. Oh well. A few bucks worth of wire. All right. Yeah, I'm going to just tilt it over to the side, see if I can get to the back and sort of take out the side cover. Okay. Well, that's going to get a bit of weight off here. Well, no wonder it's so heavy. That cover itself was, weighed heaps. So, there we go. Giant transformer. I'd love to get it onto the bench. I'll see if I can just get rid of one. These aren't very tight at all. Okay. Got to get it back down. Just trying out a different field of view. Just a different lens. Just see how it looks. There we go. Well, one nice big transformer ready to go. Okay. I might see if I can get this now onto the bench just so I can work on that giant transformer. Right, so it looks like I'm just going to have to undo the two side bolts, loosen off the back ones, and should just slide straight out. But before I do that, cut some wires out of here. So they're, you know, obviously they're pretty good value. It's going to be some nice copper there. Really thick copper cable, this. Good stuff. More good cable. Perfect. Now, just loosen them off. Whew. Okay, more copper. I'll just cut these. Look at that, really thick copper. Holy dooly. Oh, I got it. Look at the size of that. And it's got a lot of steel weight as well, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm not going to take off any of this, just to cut the wire out, and I'll just leave the rest for the scrapyard to have. Look at that thick, really thick core copper wire, and this thing could probably get transformer for that as well, and it's just some aluminium. It's like a big aluminium heatsink, but there is a nice piece of copper here. Gonna have to get that off somehow. But here's our massive transformer. Oh. Wow, that was certainly some serious weight. And now, yeah, it's almost scrapped. Okay. Yeah, apart from the couple of cables and this piece of copper, that's the only thing that I'm really going to take. I'll just throw the rest into clean pressing steel and just be happy with it. Wow. So quite a lot of steel. The front panel, the side panels, this back panel. Can't really ask for much more. Look at that. Quite thick insulation on this, being a lot of battery chargers are. So it's debatable whether it's, you know, you get any less value from just selling it as mid-grade. Yeah, this particular one, such a small little shot. Probably rather just... Alright, all I got to do is just get the wrench onto that piece of copper. And this thing is scrapped out. Well, it was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be anyway. I thought the bolts were going to be a lot harder. There we go. A really nice strip of copper here. I'll probably just keep this. You know, never know when I need a piece of copper like this. It's already got the holes drilled in, bent over. You never know. As I say, with most things like that I keep, you know, can always sell it another time. Alright, well, I can call this auto battery charger scrapped and get rid of it. Just want to weigh up this transformer. Oh, the maximum of this scales is 40 kilos, right? And this weighs 39.93 kilos. How's that? So virtually 40 kilos of transformer. Yeah, not bad. If I get 70 cents a kilo, I get about $28 for it here in Australia. So 40 kilos is, oh, what's that? That's 88 pounds. Pretty much the same as the last one that I scrapped out a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure. And the smaller one, 11.6 kilos, about $8 scrap value for that. So there you go. Not a bad little thing to scrap out, actually. Might even pay to go around like service stations, gas stations, and ask them if they've got any old battery chargers and stuff. At the same time, you can always ask for lead acid batteries, but usually most garages have places that they sell their lead acid batteries to, you know, have been doing it for a long time. So it's hard to get those kind of jobs, but you never know. People do retire, and there might be opportunities. So I've just been sorting out the stuff that I just recently picked up to get organised for the big pickup tomorrow. So these are all the laptops that I've put in there to sort. I've sorted out. They've at least got motherboards in there, but they're really hard to buy because my buyer buys laptops complete, and there's only a handful of, like, when I say complete, not really complete, it's got to be intact. Like, this is all smashed up, and it's, you know, it's just not right, you know. Screens half busted, and, you know, like that. They're just not intact, and like that. I can't sell them as laptops. All I can do with these is actually just scrap them out, and so that's what I'm going to have to do. But the only problem I've got is I don't know how to, because these are from the guy that buys my laptops. I don't know how to pay him for them because it's just not something standard that I would buy. So yeah, and there's a lot of work needed to be done. And I mentioned there was a whole, you know, probably at least 2/3 of the tub was full of laptop boards, and I did pick out a bunch of laptop boards, but this is what was in there. And what it is, these are laptop motherboards, but they've all been cut up, and there was, even in this pile, there was about 5 grinding discs worn out. And so what they've done is they've grinded up these laptop motherboards. You can see this one, the center of it has been taken out. So what it looks like they've done is all the motherboards with BGA in the center, they've taken that out. I'm I'm not sure why. So see this one, it's got a BGA, but it's just a silicon top, so it's a low value one. But any of the ceramic ones or the plastic ones with the gold corner chips, they've all been taken out. So this is just shredded up laptop board, but because the main chip has been removed, even if it was intact, it would no longer be a laptop motherboard. It would just be a mid-grade board, and this is no exception. Like this one here, that's not even a mid-grade. That's not even low grade. It's just rubbish, right? So I'm not even sure what to do with these. I mean, I can throw them into mid-grade, you know, with chips in it and all that, but yeah, I'm going to have to tell him. And I say, mate, yeah, it would have been good even if they were just cut up and still left intact, but the main part in the center has all been removed. So unfortunately for him, it's only at best mid-grade, but then I've still got, you know, boards with batteries I've got to clean up, so there's no value in there for me. And even I won't even recoup value from the time it takes me to sort all that stuff out. And then these were the other laptop boards, and so here we go. There's a lot of these, probably 50 of them, and okay, now you can see it's a I series with the metal, which isn't that crash hot, but look what's missing. This corner here is cut out completely, and that's where the main BGA sits, along with the little memory BGAs around the outside. So as you can see, there's nothing on this board, and the only thing on it really is just this one flat pack. So it's barely even a mid-grade board now. So yeah, it's real unfortunate. I don't know what the idea of it was. Maybe this guy got these from another recycler that was going for gold recovery, and he just decided, well, I'm not going to sell the boards. But I tell you what, they would have got much more for these boards if they sold them complete as laptops rather than cutting this out. And yeah, because this is barely mid-grade board. So all of these are pretty much the same, you know, or other laptops where again they've cut out the center. Some I've they've left because, like this one here, it's only got the silicon BGAs. So, you know, they obviously must know a little bit about gold recovery to know that these are not worth taking out. But these are just really light. So it's a real shame. They would have got certainly got a lot more value than what they would get from gold recovery when it comes to scrapping out laptop motherboards. You know, like I tell all you guys, when it comes to motherboards, like PC motherboards, laptop motherboards, or server motherboards with the dual socket, don't bother taking off any chips, because you're downgrading them and you're going to lose a lot more than the value you get. You're better off going for your BGAs on higher grade boards, or slot cards, or even mid-grade boards. There's so many other places to get them from where if you're taking them off a really high grade board, but most likely you're going to get like 10 of them off one board. So, you know, rather than just getting one off. Anyway, but hey, I don't complain. I just take what I take. The only confusing thing for me is I just don't know what to pay for them when it goes like that. Like these ones I can't really pay for at all, because I've got to go through all that, pick out all the rubbish, throw the rubbish out, take out all the batteries. So there might be a couple of hours there, and there might only be, because they're only mid-grade, there might only be, there won't even be about $7 worth of mid-grade boards. So to spend an hour to make $7, I can't pay. These, okay, I'll be able to throw these. I've already spent time on these because I had to take out the battery out of each one. So, you know, that's already time consuming. And again, they're only mid-grade. So I'm basically just getting my money back. And same with the complete laptops that are busted up. I don't know what to pay for them. But anyway, that's my problem, not yours. So now I think I'm going to just yeah, keep tidying up here. Yeah, I did, well, you know, where these laptop boards are, I did do those 2 rows of PCs and stuff, and I've still got to do these ones, but I want to have a bit of a rest today, because tomorrow it's just going to be such a big pickup. It's going to be a matter of coming in, or taking off and loading that whole van up and then bringing it back. It's about a 40-minute drive, and then coming back here and unloading, and then having to sort it out and, you know, weigh it all up, because some of it I'll be buying as well. So at least I've done this vehicle charger, and as you can see, I'm starting to run out a bit of space here, so something's got to go, and yeah, and I'll continue on with this scrap marathon in some way. I'm just a little bit confused at the moment, because I don't know which way I'm going, what I'm actually doing at the moment. Just got stuff going on, but hopefully the next video it'll be a bit more organized again, and yeah, as I said, I'm going to do another big switch marathon and probably a server marathon. So that's some of the stuff that I picked up from the school the other day, and more music, sort of sound sort of stuff from the second pickup of that sound place. Got all these little switches. Yeah, so lots to do. Not enough time in a day to do it all. And all these I picked up, part of the recent pickup. So some interesting things there. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do these PCs, but I'd love to be able to scrap out the PCs and load them straight into the van to take away as dirty pressing steel, but yeah, I need the van in the morning to go and do that pickup. But as soon as I come back and empty, that's what I'm going to start to do, fill the van up with dirty pressing steel, and at least get that batch out the way. All right, well, I think for this marathon, I'll just keep this a little bit shorter, maybe. I'm not sure how long it's going to turn out to be. I'm most likely under 2 hours, so look out for the next video coming soon. And yeah, it's going to include the big pickup that I do tomorrow, as well as probably a run at the scrapyard and scrapping out some oddball stuff as well. So keep scrapping, guys, have fun, and I'll catch you real soon.